Hi, if you're taking time out of your crazy busy schedule today to watch this video, my guess is you've been searching for a long time for a way to kiss the overworked and underpaid agency or private practice gig goodbye forever. I work 2 days a week and I make a six-figure income, and I can show you how to do it. Hi, I'm Kate Usaj, and if you give me 30 minutes of your time, I will show you my approach that guarantees you will stop being swallowed up by a system that has enculturated social workers to work in one of the most day-to-day stressful jobs at abysmal wages and long hours. Give up being a slave to insurance companies, waiting for your hard-earned money to show up in your bank account. You will stop the burnout process you may not even realize you're experiencing. But believe me, you are like a frog in a pot of water that does not even realize it is being boiled alive until it is too late. This program is not for you if you don't like to make a wage that's commensurate with your education and experience. If you're a martyr or you feel bad about getting paid what you're worth. If you don't mind working a gazillion hours a week with increasing caseloads of clients who need much higher levels of care while you have little to no support or supervision in your job. This program's not for you if you care less about your work-life balance. If you bought into the BS that standing up against shitty working conditions year after year makes you a whiner and complainer, this program's not for you. This program is not for you if you have a negative mindset, if you're thinking this must be a scam. If you dismiss any new ideas, to finally look at social work as a career, not a job. If you're content with the devil you know more than the devil you don't know, if your motto is expect the worst and hope for the best, this program is not for you if you are content to have unpaid school loans until you die. If you don't understand that the type of social workers you want to hang out with will not be working in crappy conditions forever, and they will launch their career into a lifestyle they want and deserve. This program is not for you if you are not willing to invest in yourself. Feel free to hit pause and log out now. Now, to keep it together to manage your stress, you may have thought that going to another training or begging for more quality time with your supervisor or trying to start a peer supervision group at work that no one shows up for will help you feel fulfilled and over time increase your income. You may have changed jobs or to work in someone else's private practice, giving up 40% of your income, but you still feel that sense of isolation and that imposter syndrome. Yoga classes and going to your own therapist still does not translate into you having the impact you want, working less hours, and increasing your income to a living wage. I know firsthand this is true because I've tried all of these myself, and my supervisees tell me they have tried all of these strategies and they are still burning out. I didn't even know I was intuitively building an approach or a program until supervisees getting their hours towards their LISW who are finishing their group supervision said to me, I want the kind of career you have. What do we do next? I love what I do. And I realized I'm only working 2 days a week, making a six-figure income, doing what I am most passionate about, supporting and mentoring social workers. So meet Mary. She called me really emotional. She remembered me as a grad school instructor, and she really connected with me. The story she told me about her 15-year career read to me like a trauma novel. It was clear there was nothing wrong with her, like her last practice owner told her. What the hell? Can you tell? Her story really ticked me off. So Mary became one of my mentees, and she started the Intentional Career by Design program that I built, and she put together all the training she had taught over the years, fully embraced the CEO mindset, followed step by step to building her business, and focused on the foundational tasks that she needed in the program. She states she's never been more excited about her career, and she has programs and retreats ready to book in the fall. So meet Linda. She's amazingly talented, but struggled. She was working a gazillion hours a week in someone else's private practice. She needed to find a step-by-step approach that wouldn't have her working even more hours. So she's launching her own small group practice so she can ditch her job and either grow the practice, keep it for profit, or sell it down the road for cash. And at the same time, she's building an infrastructure for alternative income streams to reduce her hours even more and increase her income, including coaching, supervision. The sky's the limit for Linda. So she's following the Intentional Career by Design program. She finally feels she has a group of social workers on the same path, and she sees them in coaching calls twice a week. She already has all of her business paperwork in place. She found an office. She's working on completing her website. She's including in her business model supervision and coaching that she learned about in Intentional Career by Design to decrease her work hours. She helps more clients and she's going to increase her income. She's ecstatic. She's released the overwhelm as she has a realistic step-by-step plan. And she just decided to rearrange her work schedule to give her more blocks of time to spend to amp up her time frame to completely build out. Hi, I'm Kate Usaj, and I've spent the last 30 years in the social work field as a leader, a supervisor, a school social worker, an agency worker, an in-home therapist, a grants coordinator, a psychotherapist at an integrative medicine center at a major global hospital system. And you know, a lot of those years really sucked. But without a doubt, those years were formative and at times very inspirational. But for years, I worked 40 to 50 hours a week in schools with kids under stairwells, freezing cold offices with no windows, parking in unpaved mud parking lots to get to my school building, only to be told by the secretary that I'm late, responding to school shootings, daily suicidal and homicidal calls, being responsible for 10 inner city schools. Are you getting the picture? I have been in your shoes. The blessing in the chaos was I was working on teams with amazing social workers. And when we talk now, we have the insight to know that in many ways, our fast friendships are really trauma bonds, similar to soldiers who have been in combat together. So around 2011-12, I completed a CEU training, just trying to cope with the stress. It was a 2-year intensive, in-person, experiential hypnotherapy program with 25 other courageous social workers. And with that kind of support, the trajectory of my career changed drastically. After 20 years in the field, I was recruited to that integrative medicine center at a global hospital system as a result of that training. And looking back, it is doubtful I would have been able to keep up the pace I was having much longer. But being a psychotherapist, seeing clients one at a time has its own drawbacks. In fact, we were expected to see 40 clients a week. So while working at the hospital, I opened an office to rent out space to support social workers who were just starting out, needed a place to rent, and like me, needed to find their tribe. I had a supervision group. I saw private clients on the weekend. I was getting ready to transition out of that hospital. And then the pandemic hit. So the last 5 years, I've synthesized all my knowledge to transition from being the good employee to the CEO of my own 6-figure company, only working 2 days a week. I have the knowledge, the expertise, and the firsthand experience to lead you step by step to claim your confidence, step away from the burnout and the grind, learn skills and personal practices to take you to the next professional and income level. I've done it myself, and I really want to help you do it. When I was sent home from that major hospital system during the pandemic to work in isolation with no support, I began to get calls from new social workers who wanted a therapist. And I realized they didn't need therapy. They needed supervisors. They needed mentors with commitment and experience. Why was that not happening in the workplace? So I decided I would make a shift from employee to CEO, build my own virtual business while working full-time from home, and I retired from that hospital system in less than a year. And since I gleefully skipped away from the grind on March 1st, 2021, I essentially work 2 days a week, and I have a 6-figure business. Now, since the fall of 2020, I have supervised 70 social workers for their LISW for over 1,100 hours of group supervision, deeply listening to their stories and their needs. They inspired me to launch Intentional Career by Design. What I realized in 2020, when all mid-career and for the first time ever in 25 years, brand new social workers started blowing up my inbox with requests for therapy, that my experience as a new social worker was much different from what is happening for social workers now. When I was a new social worker, our agencies made sure they had a commitment that we had regular and excellent supervision. All of my supervisors have become mentors for my entire career, and I'm extremely grateful to them. All are now in key roles in universities, major agencies, and practices across the state, or they have started their own business. My private practice owner social worker friends may not speak to me after seeing this video, but despite the best intentions of them to make their workplaces welcoming and supportive, I am saying this out loud. Social workers today are treated far worse than any social workers have been in recent history. Social workers are all working twice as hard to prove themselves, and it's burning them out at work and at home. The work environment, the documentation, billable hours, low insurance reimbursement rates are killing us. Social workers and their clients have not fully recovered from the pandemic. 20 to 22, we are still the walking wounded. Women social workers make up 80.5% of social workers in our profession. Our workplaces were never built, nor have they evolved to accommodate women social workers and the unique challenges that they encounter. You know this drill. Our suggestions on yearly surveys fall on deaf ears. Have you ever had one of your suggestions for a more flexible work schedule be implemented, or in fact, any of your suggestions? It is more important than ever for social workers to make the right decisions for themselves before these systems suck you dry, chew you up, and spit you out. So let's look at the self-sabotaging myths that social workers have bought into. I don't have time to build a business outside of my work hours. I need to go back for that business degree to build a business. I can't charge that much money for my services. I don't have any time for my family now. Who would ever have time to build a business? Building a business is just too complicated. I don't have anyone to help me, keep me focused or on track. Another myth, we just have to accept the pay. That's the norm. That's the cost of the privilege of working in the field. Oh, a social work master's degree restricts us to just these one types of services. We can't move out of that box. I can't charge that much money for my services. Nobody will pay that. Step out of your victim triangle. You are an expert with a master's degree. You just have not been taught in your graduate school program the options available to you or how to market yourself and build your network. You are not powerless. There are ways to change your current reality. Seriously, there are only 3 simple changes you need to make to design and create a 6-figure business working 2 days a week. Number 1, you need to identify the difference between a career you love and a career you hate by designing and creating it from the right foundations. Number 2, you need to decide what kind of social work you are, the type whose career just happens to them, or a leader who intentionally creates their career by design. And then third, determine daily steps a successful social worker needs to focus on to make the career you design a reality. Change 1, identify the difference between a career you love and a career you hate by designing and creating it from the right foundations. What does a career you love look like? Well, you can design a career like mine, invest in yourself, follow a step-by-step program. Every step of the way, be guided by the questions. Number 1, am I making more impact for more clients? Number 2, am I designing a career where I can work less hours? And number 3, do I have the potential to make significantly more money than I am in my current position? Hear this, mindset is everything. Did you design and create your career from the right foundations? Or like most of us, did you just enter into the cyclone of grad school, graduate dazed and confused, and let your job happen to you? Change the way you think about your career. Do you want a career you love or a career that exhausts you? It is essential that social workers develop a beginner's mind, an existential lens through which we look at our world, be coachable, trust our intuition to shift quickly from employee to CEO mindset in our personal and professional lives. With a career you love, you control your life and your financial destiny. You embrace your career as a visionary, a teacher, a facilitator of healing for your clients. You have an enormous sense of relief when you check your bank account. Need to take your kid to the doctors? Change your hours. Want to go on a last minute vacation? Just go. Need more money? Add more value to your program, and then you can raise your rates. Take time off when you choose. You don't have to worry about your clients. They have the support of your program. We all know what a career we hate looks like. You more than likely are experiencing it now. Job after job is the same old toxic cesspool of pointless meetings, longer work hours resulting in smaller hourly wages, even though you try your hardest to make the best of it. You ask your supervisor for supervision and you get a one-word answer or maybe an email response. Your creativity is crushed. You take on more and more responsibilities to get ahead, but others who know people get promoted, and your pay is still substandard. You work under those old fear messages that you have to work harder to be successful, that it's not easy to be financially stable, that you will fail and lose money if you even try. You allow yourself to be limited by the naysayers and old rules that do not work anymore, and your limiting fear. Change number 2. Discern what type of social worker you are. The type who is the CEO, who intentionally creates a career by design, or the type who lets their career just happen to them. The only way to create a six-figure career like mine without making 100 missteps and detours on the way is to just take charge of it. Get clear. The systems you work in do not care about you. The insurance companies don't care about you. What you need to do is to start designing your career. Trust your intuition. You have found the right coach, strategist, an implementation specialist, a social worker that is a match for you. Make an investment in yourself that is far less than you paid for grad school, with a far greater potential for monetary gain and freedom. I hear this from my supervisees. It never dawned on them that they were social workers whose career just is happening to them. Your grad school professors, advisors, and internship supervisors teach theory and therapeutic interventions, and they tell you not to worry. There's plenty of great jobs out there for social workers. So you start to apply for social work jobs in your area of your interest, but all they pay is about $35 an hour. So now you just start to apply for any social work job or private practice as an LSW. You might secure a job in an agency. Everybody there is overworked, underpaid, supervisors rotate out every 6 months. You can't get the training supervision you need. You can't see an upward path for you, and the burnout inevitably begins. You work so many hours with so many draining clients, you are more exhausted than just being in grad school, and now you have school loans coming due. So you're working at that agency job and you're like, oh my God, I'm hoping private practice will be better. That's what everybody says. But you're still trading 40 hours a week to even make a living wage. And if you're hired as a 1099, you have no benefits and you have to find them on your own. You begin to dream about starting your own business. You see people out there that have done it, but you can't find anyone to give you the time of day or give you a straight answer and just a step-by-step process to make it a reality. Because after all, you're still working full-time, right? So you begin to quietly quit, trying to avoid burnout. You might even get intermittent FMLA to try to save yourself, or you just start to zone out on your clients. Now, here's what happens when you decide to become the CEO who intentionally creates their career by design. You're going to regain your confidence, your joy, your energy. You are going to have the support to acknowledge that you have the intuition and the grit it takes to succeed. You finished grad school, didn't you? You've got the grit. You schedule the time you want to work, eventually leaving you untethered to an office or any one location. You can work anywhere, anytime with anyone around the world. And you now have the coolest social workers in the world hanging out with you in your coaching calls twice a week. And finally, change number 3. You need to determine daily steps a successful social worker needs to focus on to make the career they design a reality. So, once you make the commitment to be vulnerable, trust yourself, and come with a beginner's mind to the Intentional Career by Design program, you will invest in a strategy and implementation program mentor that is a social worker and specializes in only working with social workers. You'll become coachable. Follow the proven program that you have invested in step by step. You'll commit and become calmly focused, and you'll schedule your time to be accountable to your goals. Once you learn and embrace the needed mindset, have your career designed, and your business model is created, it's time to put in place the action steps to make it happen. These are the steps that keep you on track, and this plan is what you defer to whenever you make a choice. You play the step-by-step short game while always having the long game in the back of your mind and the support of your group. And so now you have a choice. So option 1, you can just solve this on your own. The advantages is it's free, but is it really? I know this firsthand. Doing all your own exhausting research, months of trial and error with no income to show for the time you invested, making critical mistakes along the way, not going forward, and then giving up along the way if you hit a stumbling block because you don't have any support and you don't have the accountability and guidance. And all this time, your school loans are piling up. So, option 2, get my expert help. The process is simple. You'll be able to watch content in the teaching center. You'll be doing the tasks. You'll be asking for clarification and getting any help you need on coaching calls and a private Facebook page with your fellow brilliant social workers. You'll save money by getting the support of your own strategist and implementation specialist in one program who blazed this trail into developing their own successful business, now working 2 days a week. You're going to save time trying to find out what you need to do next on the scheduled coaching calls, Facebook private groups, and accountability. And finally, you will shorten the time you and your family are stressed by your burnout, trading time for your underpaid salary and getting to it, building your freedom. You're going to invest a tiny fraction of what you invested in grad school to focus your expertise in one area and put it into program format so you can build a program that will earn 6 figures while you are still at your job. And you'll overcome and release any faulty belief you have that you'll not reach your goal. If I have to drag you over the finish line, you will get there. I only take on a few social workers at a time, so you will get the individualized attention and support you deserve. Dig in, do the work to create your own career by design intentionally with step-by-step direction and support. So, I've been in this field long enough that I can tell you not what can happen if you don't do this. I can tell you what's going to happen if you don't do this. You'll just continue dragging yourself into your burnout job, compromising your health and well-being. 5 years will go by and you will still be in the same abyss. If you don't make this shift, the toxic work environment and demands will take their toll on your physical and mental health. Endless responsibilities and demands are going to suck the life force out of you. Constant pressure to do more to live up to medieval agency expectations are going to kill you. And inflation is killing your bottom line now. Imagine what's going to happen 5 years from now. You keep trying but not succeeding to keep your health and your finances above water with that 1% pay increase if you are even lucky. You're unable to fall asleep, stay asleep, or wake up rested and renewed. You spend your life planning and dreaming, always feeling less than because you failed to act. Sound dramatic? These are the calls I get every day from social workers wishing they had just started sooner. So, here's what can happen if you do this. What I've created is a set of proven action steps, easy to follow, instead of bumbling around trying to find your way in the dark. You're going to create the career you truly want and deserve. And the set of steps will get you the results that social workers currently in this program have experienced. Once we have your career designed and your business model created, it's time to put in place the action steps to make it happen. These are the steps to keep you on track, and this plan is what you will defer to whenever you make a choice. Having the right help dramatically increases your chances of success in establishing your career by design. By making a choice to work with me, you're getting a strategist and implementation specialist who is a social worker, who has overcome all the pitfalls to create a six-figure career working 2 days a week, and a 30-year track record of helping other social workers find success. You will dramatically reduce your learning curve with direction from another fellow social worker who has done it herself. You don't have to muck around like I did, piecing together a puzzle I knew nothing about, and I had to start from scratch with thousands of hours of intel gathering, cursing aloud when the learning curve seemed insurmountable. And you will release your imposter syndrome forever in order to never let it stop you again. So, it's time for you to jump in and change your life. This week, I'm going to admit 3 social workers ready to change their life as they know it into my Intentional Career by Design mentorship group to help them kiss the grind goodbye and develop a 6-figure career by design. So to qualify, you must be independently licensed as a social worker. You must be a social worker ready to take back your power and invest in yourself and your clients, and not continue to give it away to an industry that will make you a martyr if you allow it. You're going to be motivated to commit to spend time each day following a supported step-by-step process. So, if the fit's mutual, we'll get to work right away, and if it isn't, we'll reach that understanding quickly and figure out in what direction you should move next. I coach all social workers personally, so there's a limit to the number of people I can take at one time. So, let's schedule a time to talk in the next 48 hours about the difference you want to make in your life, and if my approach to intentionally creating your career by design will help you get there. Don't let your burnout or your job hold you back. Your career and your freedom is waiting. Use the link below to schedule our 15-minute phone call. I look forward to hearing from you.